Welcome to Show Up and Glow. My name's Jalen. This is my Cozy Corner, a space created just for you to tune in and chill out. If this interests you, I invite you to find some headphones, a quiet space, and join me for a calming and comforting experience. If this is not for you, that is okay. I appreciate you stopping by. As you notice yourself enjoying your stay, please make sure to like and subscribe for more of this calm and cozy vibe. Now let's get started. Welcome. We're going to do something a little different today. I'm excited about it. And it's been part of my life consecutively for the last 7 years. So I thought it would be fun to talk about this month what some of my favorite audiobooks are on Audible. Bring it in. This is not sponsored by Audible. If you're new to the Cozy Corner, we just get silly and we get cozy, and sometimes we do guided meditations, and sometimes I help you fall asleep, and then sometimes we just get chatty and we don't know what's gonna come out of my mouth. We don't. And that's okay. Because that's real life. 1, 2, 3, say it with me, because that's real life, folks. So welcome to the Cozy Corner. This is a newer type of video that I'm trying out today. So if this is your first time hanging out with us, cool, welcome, come on in. Get yourself a cup of tea, get yourself a hot chocolate, get yourself a blankie, get yourself something cozy. I want you to get into your cozy gear. We're calming down, no matter what time of day it is, no matter where you are. And we're just gonna chit chat, and we're just gonna explore some cool sounds, ear to ear, this type of thing. What else can I share with you today before we get into it? Okay, a little bit about audiobooks. I personally love an audiobook for certain books, okay? If you watched my book video, go watch my book videos, my cookbook videos. When I talk about books, I absolutely love it. As you can see from my mini library, like a tiny one. I talked about a book called The Plant Paradox. And The Plant Paradox is a perfect audiobook. In book form, it's good, it's on my shelf. But my pea brain could not understand some of the words. How were we pronouncing some of these words? Electin? And you spell it like that. And you spell it like that. I'm supposed to know that means lectin. No. So The Plant Paradox, great audiobook. Fabulous audiobook even. I have it. Terrific. And it's hours long, which when I personally see in Audible, which you can check just openly how long some of these books are, I'm there's no way I would have got through that. There's no way. And I even have the book on my shelf and it's this thick. So certain books on Audible are great. Really scientific-y books, learning books. Some people love the audiobooks for Harry Potter series where there's characters and voices, and fiction books, right? Self-help books, really anything. I will not do a cookbook on an audiobook. And I really do books on audio that I'm like driving somewhere long distance, that I can just kind of zone out while I'm driving. Don't quote me on that. That I can just kind of listen and let it just kind of sink in, and I don't have to do too much thinking. So sometimes that's a story, which we'll show you today. I'll show you today. There's no one else in this room with me except Mr. Clock and lovely Lady Lava Lamp. Like, she's losing it. Or I like to listen to like self-help type of books, and it's not, when I say self-help, it's more like how to be better at something, whether that's communicating, listening to myself, or dealing with anxiety, or things like that. I enjoy those books on audiobooks because usually the author is reading them, and I enjoy hearing the author's words read to me. So, are you a fan of Audible or audiobooks, books on tape? Hey, no judgment. This is a judge-free zone. You might still have books on tape. It's totally cool. It's totally cool. If you do, or if you have some that you have enjoyed, please leave a comment below and let me know. I'm always looking to add to my library, and I've got 3 credits saved up right now because I just keep putting books in my wish list, and then I sometimes come back to it, and then sometimes I forget about it, and then Audible's like knocking on my email, and they're like, you got 3 books to go with. Like, get 3 books right now. You got 3 books just sitting here, just go with it. I also love Audible because you can return books. If you kind of give it a listen, you're like, it's not for me, you can just return it, and I love that. I've done that a couple times. But for the most part, I keep the books, I re-listen to the books, and they are incredibly valuable. I have had great success listening to books on tape, books on Audible, with, like I said, changing my mind, or helping me in business, or helping me create a channel. There's so many things you can learn about, and sometimes sitting down with a book, you just don't have time. I'm not even going to try to talk you into finding time and making time. You just don't have it. So if you have a long commute to work, or going on a road trip, or you like to listen to audiobooks while you're around the house, I get it. I totally get it. So I'm going to show you, I'll have you listen to 3 little bits of my favorite from this month. So if you've heard of them or you're interested in them, please drop me a comment. I'm interactive in the comment section, and we can have a conversation. So the first one is called Inner Glimpse, and I will link these all below for you to find easily and add them to your library if you wish. So this is Inner Glimpse, and I'm gonna let them kind of explain from the intro what Inner Glimpse is about, and we'll go on from there.
Welcome to a familiar space. Somewhere in the depths of your mind and spirit, you will remember your divine spark. This book is intended not only to bring you guidance, reassurance, and hope, but to also remind you how powerful and magnificent you are. Inner Glimpse will give you a feeling of greatness, the warmth of aliveness, and a surge of possibilities. You will not only feel like you can do anything, but you will also have a calm balance and a peace of mind that radiates inner trust. You'll start to feel empowered like never before. This is a major turning point for you, because you are now going to walk in a state of knowing that you are powerful, capable, and able to do anything, while at the same time overcoming everything. Your true strength will reveal itself, and you will start to recognize who you really are. There will be a sense of ease and a supernatural flow to all that you do. You'll be living out your miracles and claiming your blessings daily. We all have or have had an inner glimpse of who we truly are, what we're capable of, and what we deserve, and how valuable we are. The inner glimpse has a superhuman effect. You feel like you can do anything and that all is possible for you. You feel like you can overcome anything and survive any low point, only to come out renewed, re-energized, and filled with greater life. inner glimpse is such an empowering feeling and a reminder from your spirit when you need a gentle nudge that all is okay. This is what this book is all about, igniting the reminder within you to start claiming your natural gift. It is a reminder to acknowledge, to trust, and to allow yourself to live by your spirit, where there are no limitations to your dreams, no blocks standing in your way, and no end to your creative expression. You only go up from here, transcending anything that once stood in your way. You'll feel nourished and revived on a deeper level.
I absolutely love this audiobook. I love her voice. I love the message, and every single time I listen to it, if it's for 30 minutes, if it's for 10 minutes, if it's for an hour, if it's for 2 hours, you feel incredibly uplifted and renewed. And this is a 10-hour, almost 11, it's 10 hours and 58 minute, 11-hour audiobook that I find incredibly valuable to listen to rather than read. And I bought the book itself too. I wanted to have a physical copy so I could read it, in downtime and keep reiterating the messages that she talks about. So, Inner Glimpse, if you're looking to start over, if you're in a new journey of taking care of yourself, learning how to take care of yourself, tired of, maybe anxiety, tired of deep feelings and emotions that have been weighing you down for too long and you're ready to see some light again, I highly recommend Inner Glimpse. It is delightful, and if you just take it as a book that's going to help you feel better, it will help you feel better. So that's what I'm really loving right now. The next one is The Alchemist. The Alchemist audiobook is one of the best audiobooks you'll ever get. And you know what? I'm gonna go out right now and just say, if you don't have Audible and you would like to try it and you want your first book for free, you should get The Alchemist. Just get it. I have listened to this book at least 3 times. It's never gets old, and it only gets better. So let's take a listen.
This is Audible.
Audio presents The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. Read by Jeremy Irons. The Alchemist picked up a book that someone in the caravan had brought. Leafing through the pages, he found a story about Narcissus. The Alchemist knew the legend of Narcissus, a youth who knelt daily beside a lake to contemplate his own beauty. He was so fascinated by himself that one morning he fell into the lake and drowned. At the spot where he fell, a flower was born. It was called the Narcissus. But this was not how the author of the book ended the story. He said that when Narcissus died, the goddesses of the forest appeared and found the lake, which had been fresh water, transformed into a lake of salty tears. "Why do you weep?" the goddesses asked. "I weep for Narcissus," the lake replied. "Ah, it is no surprise that you weep for Narcissus," they said. "For though we always pursued him in the forest, you alone could contemplate his beauty close at hand." "But was Narcissus beautiful?" the lake asked. "Who better than you to know that?" the goddesses said in wonder. "After all, it was by your banks that he knelt each day to contemplate himself." The lake was silent for some time. Finally it said, "I weep for Narcissus, but I never noticed that Narcissus was beautiful. I weep because each time he knelt beside my banks, I could see in the depths of his eyes my own beauty reflected." What a lovely story, the alchemist thought.
I have all the goosebumps and all the warm feelings. I absolutely love this book on audio and in real life. And if that voice sounded familiar to you, that is Scar from The Lion King. Okay, so if you need a little dose of Lion King, get The Alchemist. Oh, it's so good. The final book I have really enjoyed because, like I mentioned before, I enjoy finding solutions to help with anxiety and panic, and audiobooks that I can listen to and not force my brain to understand, but my brain just starts understanding from the dialogue is a lifesaver. It is truly life-changing because sometimes when I read a book, I might not comprehend it very well. I might get through a page or two and be like, what did I just read? What the freaking heck? I know I read every single word, but my comprehension of it can struggle. And that's the last thing you want when you're trying to read about how to help your anxiety and your panic. You want to get it and you want to implement it, right? So this one is called Pass Through Panic, and it helps you understand how to get through panic, move through panic, recognize panic, and the author has the sweetest voice. So I just want to share this one with you too.
This is Audible.
Highbridge Audio is pleased to present Pass Through Panic, Freeing Yourself from Anxiety and Fear. Written and read by Dr. Claire Weeks.
Although I'm talking to you from Australia, thousands of miles away, I don't feel that I'm talking to strangers. I suppose this is because we speak the same language, have much the same customs. Also, 3 years ago, I had a book published in the United States, and since then I've talked to many Americans by letter and by tape recording. And while I listened to these recordings, I heard the sounds of America, not the big important sounds we hear on television, radio, and cinema, but the little homely sounds that were happening in the homes of these people as they talked to me. I heard a dining room clock chime in Los Angeles, and there's a parrot in St. Louis whose entire repertoire is very familiar to me. I've even heard him scrape his beak against his cage thousands of miles away. And I've heard these people who talk to me breathe. I've heard them sigh. So I think of America as a living, friendly place, and it's good to make this series of talks for you. Also, I think I have something to bring you that is good, even exciting. It's something many people, including my patients, have taught me over the last 40 years. It's simple, and yet so important that understanding it could alter the lives of many, because what I propose to tell you could make you invulnerable to the threat of any future nervous breakdown, and it could help to cure those already in breakdown. Today, because of the way nervous illness is presented over radio, television, theatre, many of us have come automatically to think of it in terms of psychoanalysis, group therapy, narcoanalysis, hypnosis, shock treatment, etc. You see, these are such good program stuff. They're constantly highlighted, so that many of us think that a psychiatrist's consulting room is visited mainly by people who need this kind of treatment. But this is not so. These are a minority group, many of whom have personality problems. So many nervously ill people are ordinary people with no particular personality problem. They are not special types. They are more human than neurotic.
I know that in times of stress and needing to feel comforted, it is powerful to turn to a sound to help with that either anxious feeling, the panic, the nervousness. Sound really has the power to anchor you and ground you and change how you're feeling. I've talked about this before, and I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, quite honestly. But my anchor for peace and calm for a long time was watching Bob Ross. And anytime I felt panic or anxiety approaching, no matter what I was doing, if I was in a safe place, my home, even my office, if I was alone, I would just turn on Bob Ross. And if I focused on the sounds of his painting, if I focused on his words, 9 times out of 10, I could get myself out of what I thought was imminent doom and fear. And this is why the Cozy Corner is here as well. Anytime you feel like you need to reset and come back to you, if you feel like you're losing you a little bit, I created this space with a guided meditation to either get you out of your head and breathe and listen to my voice and calm down, or some of these chatty videos to just hang out with someone and focus on what I'm saying and get out of your own head still. So audiobooks can have the same effect. There are certain audiobooks that I love and turn to if I really need that extra pickup, if I need that extra push through something to calm my nerves down, to just relax, and to feel like I am in a safe place. Because truthfully, most of the time, you are in a safe place when those feelings arise. You just don't feel like you are. And audio really helps to make you aware of the present moment. So, have you heard of any of those books? Inner Glimpse, The Alchemist. Which one was that one? Pass Through Panic. She has another one that I have too. Pass Through Panic. Have you listened to any of those? Have you heard of them? I would love to hear your suggestions below. I'm open to all of it. Except for cookbooks. Do not send me an audio cookbook book. I am not going to listen to that. Absolutely not. But anyway, I really appreciate you being here with me today. You can be anywhere on YouTube, and it means a lot that you took the time to come here and chill out for a little bit in my cozy corner and hang out with me. So I'll see you again real soon.